So, a TV series starring Chris Evans. Yes, please. So Defending Jacob is an Apple TV exclusive TV series that takes place over the span of about a year's time, showing what happens when a kid in a small town gets murdered, and then another kid within his class, played by Jaden Martell, I think his name is, the kid from It Chapter 1. He's blamed for the murder, and we have to see how him and his family kind of cope with everything, and his parents are played by Chris Evans, who is Captain America, and Michelle Dackery, who I'm only actually ever familiar with her from The Gentleman from this year. So this is a story telling how these characters are able to kind of not only move on, but also how they're going to react to the situation and how they're going to try and overcome the situation with their son being framed for murder. And by far one of the best things about this TV show is, of course, it is the acting. The TV series kind of lands and lives with the acting. Our main characters within, like Chris Evans, is by far, I would really kind of make him the main character. You do have the other two, but I just think he's more front and center, even though it kind of is an ensemble cast. I was just kind of more intrigued with his story and seeing where his go. And Chris Evans in this movie, he's great, which is not really kind of, at this stage, complimenting Chris Evans for his acting is not really a kind of, it's not really special anymore, because everyone knows he's a great actor. And this story alone, I just thought he was great as this father who doesn't know what to do. As well, Jaden Martell, I'm gonna keep butchering his name, but I've seen him in It. I thought he was great in It, and I've seen him in Knives Out last year. He didn't really bring anything cool to Knives Out, but what he does in this movie, it's really good. You look at the kid and you can tell he's thinking over a million things in his head, but he just plays it really well. You don't know if you can trust the kid, because throughout it you're wondering, did he commit the murder? Did he not commit the murder? And just by looking at his face, you're thinking every episode, even every couple of scenes, I'm thinking, did he actually commit the murder? Because he looks like in his mind he's constantly thinking over, like, is he going to confess to the murder, or is he going to keep saying that he's innocent, which he very might be. So it just kept going and going. And then you got Michelle Dackery, who I only seen her in Gentleman. Maybe I've seen her in other things, but from memory, all I know is she's in The Gentleman, and she's so much better in this performance. Like, she's great in The Gentleman, but what she's able to do in the TV series, I thought was great. Her character is someone who starts off as kind of a normal mother would react to the situation, and then it kind of progresses as a normal mother would, and she slowly just starts to deteriorate, and it's just incredible to see her story progressing so much. And even though they're all treated in the same situation, they're all reacting in different ways, and they're all branching off in different scenarios, just seeing where their kind of story is progressing, I just found really interested to see where they all ended up by the end of the series. Now, I wasn't one of those people day one started this TV series, and I'm kind of glad for that. I actually started when episode 7 released. I actually watched it then, and I'm really glad, because this is one of those TV series that is just binge worthy. I started it the Friday night and I was finished it by Saturday morning, because it just kept me so intrigued, and I really wanted to see what was going to happen next, because the TV series, it keeps moving. It ends in these massive cliffhangers that you just want to kind of see continue on. It kind of reminded me in that way of Breaking Bad, where you finish an episode of Breaking Bad, you gotta see what happens next, and Defending Jacob kind of reminded me a bit of that. The mystery continues on so well. Every episode, new little spices are added to it, keep making you want to find out more, which kind of having the idea of you really wanting to see what happens next is the reason I cannot recommend this TV show to you. I enjoyed it. I thought the performances were great. I thought the story was great. I thought the mystery was great. But the reason I cannot recommend this TV show to you is because it ends terribly. They build up all these mysteries throughout the entire series that you really want to know, and nothing is answered at the end. And as far as I know, this is a limited series. We are not planning on getting a season 2. I could be wrong. Maybe there's a season 2 coming. But from what I know right now, we're not getting a season 2. And I kind of find that massively disappointing, because there's so many questions left at the end of season 1 that you need to know the answers to, that you want to know the answers to, but that will probably never get answered to you, because they won't be doing a season 2, which is kind of disappointing. And I feel like, because they haven't announced a season 2 already, if a season 2 does get announced, I feel like it'll be from backlash from these people watching this TV series, because that's the only way I can see it season 2 coming, if people giving out about the ending of season 1, which personally I really think we do need the season 2 to see what happens. But I also don't want to see a season 2, because I kind of would feel like it would be a little bit too much rushed to get a season 2 out there, just because of the backlash, which I'm assuming they will get over the way the season 1 ended. One of my favourite things about this show was how much we delved into the family aspect of this kind of TV show, to see how these people, just not only the son, but also the parents, and how they react to their son being trialed for murder. We see them, like, they start off just kind of trying to keep their life as normal as possible. They quickly realize you can't really do that, so they're going to the store at like 6 in the morning when it just wakes or just opens up. Like, the mother goes way out of town to eat at a restaurant just to get some sort of normality into her life, and even going that far away, it doesn't really work. They even go to Mexico at one stage in this movie, and even going that far, they still get recognized. So I enjoyed the fact that no matter how much they tried to escape it, and how much they tried to keep their life normal, no matter what they did, nothing really worked for them, and it's just kind of kept going on. And it's just that whole element of making it so realistic to show what, like, that scenario, if any family would be in that scenario, to see what it would be like for them. I actually really enjoyed that element of the TV show. And usually at the start of every episode, they would have a small jump forward to it. They never, I think it was about 6 months in the future, but we never knew exactly as it was taking place where this was jumping forward to. And Chris Evans' character was at some sort of a hearing or some sort of, it didn't seem like a court or a court scene because it was a lot smaller, but I think it was a hearing. But it kind of shows, like, he looks tired, he looks down, and the fact that you see him like that in the future, it makes you wonder what happens throughout us. So I was watching the show with my mom, and we were kind of going back and forth a lot on what we thought was going to happen. Kind of weirdly, neither of us were right, but the fact that kind of having that little scene at the start of every episode, which was only about 2 minutes, I imagine, kept us talking back and forth a lot about how that kind of scene, and trying to tinker in different ways to make us somewhat right in what our idea set was in episode 1 to continue on, to make it look like we were right at the start. Neither of us were right, but still, I like the idea that even though just those small little scenes at the start made us wonder how the kind of future scene tied into the past scene that we were at. And now, I know I said I wouldn't really recommend Defending Jacob to you, but I think the positives of this TV show do kind of outweigh the negatives, where I just think it had a terrible ending, which is kind of the reason why I can't really recommend it to you. But in saying that, the story being told and the acting being told is something that I kind of say, okay, maybe give it a shot. Just bear in mind the ending really isn't the best. Personally, it could be for you, maybe you like the way it was left, but I personally really did not like the ending. And I'm actually really intrigued now to watch some more Apple TV exclusive. Like, I'm going to watch The Morning Show because of just the first thing I've seen them do. It just seems so good, and they're really, obviously they're pumping money at this stuff, so probably Morning Show is probably really good, so I'm probably going to watch that. But if you have seen Defending Jacob, let me know your thoughts on this TV show in the comments down below. Let me know if you were actually happy with how this ended. I'm actually intrigued to see, because me and my mum were both really disappointed with the ending. I haven't heard anyone else's take on this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But as always, thanks for watching.